this is what we'll start with. Do you think it scares people to get started with it? Because there's so much to learn. I mean, you could get lost in YouTube videos on how to do this and how to do that and how to hold your shoulder and a whole bunch of stuff. You think that kind of keeps people
Mhm.
from wanting to try it?
No, I, I'll say this. I mean, you know what? I think what gets people started is I don't think anybody YouTube's golf before they start. I think people just go.
Yeah.
Right? I think people like you'll get a bunch of buddies or friends or family or a lot of even work events. People will just they'll be like, hey, do you want to join a golf tournament for this event we're doing? And people who've never played will just go. I think what keeps people from not coming back is I think golf could be, and I'm sure there are, but is one of the most complex games out
Yeah.
there. There's so many moving parts to golf. The grip can be wrong, your stance, your weight differential, anything can be different, and it's gonna be different. Um, and it's much easier to develop really bad habits in golf than it is to create really good ones and sustain those over the course of time. Uh, you know, and I think what prevents people from sticking to golf is it takes a really long time for you to get good.
Yeah.
It takes a really, really long time. And if you do it on your own, where you're just trying to figure it out, it's going to take longer. Um, the only way you can progress and get there faster is if you get some form of instruction, or if you're lucky enough to have a buddy or a friend or family member that has instruction and has need to teach you or has the capacity to um, help you navigate different ways to get better at the game. But I'll ask you this: a new player, let's say they go play a round, they learn very quickly how difficult the game is, and they go to the next thing that happens. They go, I'm just go hit a bucket of golf balls, and I'm gonna figure it out. What do you think is the very first club that comes out of the bag?
Oh, driver is the first thing everyone in there will reach for. That's the first club.
And that is what keeps people from getting better,
Yeah.
right? Because in golf, the boring stuff, or what people perceive to be boring, the boring stuff is what makes you really good. Uh, putting and chipping, and I mean everything inside 150 yards. All of that stuff is the stuff that, for whatever reason, as new people start to learn golf or they want to get better, is the part that they leave to the very end. And next time you go to a driving range, just pay attention. Sit back and just watch for a few minutes and watch everybody come in, get a big old bucket of balls. It's got like 200 balls in it. And the first thing they do is they go out and they start hitting balls. Right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, if they're most people, when they're done, will leave all their stuff and they pack their stuff and go. But it's very rare that you'll see, and even if for those that do go to chip or putt after they hit all 200 golf balls, the amount of time they spend on chipping and putting inside 50 yards or inside 150, the amount of time they spend doing that is a fraction of the time that they spent just hitting a bunch of golf balls to oblivion.
Yeah.
And that is what I think that's what frustrates a lot of people, because they're not going to get better. Maybe a little bit at a time you will, but you're not going to make an impact on the course or impact on the game that way. The people that progress fast and the people that get really good at the game really quickly, and man, sure, you can hit, you might get that sweet spot, right, where it's like, man, it's that one shot that keeps bringing you back. Then the next one's going to be rough.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about somebody that gets excited? You have the capacity to knock 7 out of 10 chips close to the hole more than you're going to hit 7 out of 10 fairways with the driver off the bat.
When I first started playing, I remember you specifically telling me, I was telling you that we're gonna go, and obviously, like I said, pull out the driver, ready to go, like everybody else, right? And you're just like, you know what? Why don't you pay just 100 yards in? And I'm like, no, I want to, hit the driver and the big stick and let it eat and a whole bunch of stuff. And you're like, dude, just play 100 yards in and work on that. I really wish I would have listened to that point, because then that 100 yards in is more impactful than from the tee box out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even now, I mean, the other day I did a video where I was only playing, I think it was 150 yards in, and the app was picking what the distance was, and it's still a struggle to play everything as a par 3.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, my daughter, she's 6, and she's, excited about starting to get into golf or whatever. She's got 2 clubs that she's allowed to hit, and it's putter and her wedge.
Yeah.
That's it. She has a driver. It came with her thing, but when I go to the range or if I go play, she only takes 2 clubs. Is it not what's she gonna want to do? She's going to swing that driver all day long, and if she really wants to get, and she's 6, she doesn't know what she wants to do yet. Right now, she's stuck on Fortnite. She's given up on it. But it's even for kids. Parents, if you're going to get your kids involved in golf, or if you're going to start yourself, I would highly recommend 150 yards in and just go and chip and putt. And that golf is a mental game. It's everything that's here more than it is physical. And go listen. I'm not the greatest at golf, but I've done it for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, go listen to the greats. Go listen to what Tiger Woods. Go pull up videos on Tiger Woods, and he'll tell you it's all mental. But you have the capacity and the higher probability of a chance to instill some confidence in the game, confidence in yourself in the game, if you go and master putting and chipping first.
Yeah.
Right. And then start branching out to 150 yards, because anybody can go to the golf course and take a driver out and smack it 100, 200 yards. It's not going to go in the direction you want it to, but you're going to have forward progression.
Yeah.
No, and I told you that, right? I said it doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to get there. It doesn't need to look pretty. It doesn't. We're not pros.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to look pretty. If you sliced it 50 yards to the right, that's all we think about as amateurs is, oh, but I sliced it to the right. Dude, yeah, but you hit it 250 yards forward.
Yeah. I can't even say some of my best drives, the ball hasn't even gotten off the floor, and it just rolls the entire way, middle of the fairway, and I'm like, I'm at a better spot now than I could have ever asked before.
And that's the game of golf, right? It's like living in the game and instead of the gap and say, yeah, I might have sliced it to the next fairway, but you know what? I'm 250 yards.
And I'm in a fairway. Yeah.
And I still have a shot. Right? But at that point, as long as you've been practicing 150 in and you've got 150 in from the other fairway, that's your shot, right? That's where you're deadly. That's where you're really good, because that's where you started. But man, I promise you, that is the key for people to get stuck on golf quickly. And if more people were instructed to do that, in my opinion, man, the golf community would be run even more than it probably already has. Simply because I can't tell you how many people I personally know that have just didn't have a care in the world for golf. They were like, yep, I went and played for about 5-6 months, and then they always get, I went and bought all these awesome clubs. I don't know what this thing is called, and all the thing at the driver. I went and bought a new one, and that's the first thing they go buy, because they're really excited. Because that's the first club you're going to show off to all your friends when you're new at golf. It's like, look at this new driver I got. Yeah, and then it doesn't work out. And then all of a sudden, go to Facebook Marketplace and go type in and go look at all these people selling brand new stuff, right? Because they just like, I'm over it. Never gonna. And most people start later on as they get a little older, and then they have this perception that, oh, it's too late. I don't have the time to learn this or play. You do.
Yeah.
You do. Just focus on, go to the range once every couple of weeks, and after a few years, if you're doing that, man, it'll make sense. I promise you that. It'll make sense, and it'll make the biggest impact on yours or anybody else's game if you just go to start from there and work your way back.
And you know what's crazy too is like the next thing that people do once they pull out their driver is they swing as hard as humanly possible as they can at the ball. And this is like the first like 5 to 10 times that you go playing, you think the only way that I'm gonna beat Bryson DeChambeau is if I break every spinal bone in my body and hit this as fast as I can. And 9 times out of 10, you'll probably top it, and it'll be right where you left it. That's really hard to figure out. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, and I'm like, dude, these older men, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, go out there and play, and it looks like they're barely even trying, and they hit it further than most of us do, or at least congruent from the tees that they're playing from. And it's like, wow, I should like take a little note from them and do it the way they did it.
Well, and that's the big thing to understand is golf is not a game of strength.
Yeah,
Uh, I've
technique.
seen this. Yeah, it's all swing. You got to, I've heard the term "let the club do the work," right? That's a real thing. You know, I'll tell you, I mean, but and that's a constant. There's a lot of people that will get into the game of golf that will swing out of their shoes, and sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll pop one, and it'll be a good shot. Most times, man, the golf swing is so uh, it's a bunch of moving parts. Any little thing you do wrong, the faster you do it, the more susceptible you are to mistakes. The harder you swing, the more susceptible you are to. It's all timing. It's a timing. It's a game of timing. And yeah, I've played plenty of rounds with random folks that almost look like they make it effortless. And I think you've said it to me before. When I played my best golf, at least one time that round, you said, "Man, you just make it seem so effortless." And that's when I'm not swinging the club as hard, and I'm more focused on accuracy and getting through my swing correctly, um, versus just trying to put power behind the ball.
Yeah.
Right? It's you know.
And it's crazy because, like you said, you there's some times where guys where he's swinging and it looks like he hasn't even, like he's not even trying. Like he's gonna hit a butterfly at the top of the ball, and that thing just takes off, right? And even on the flip side of that, your touch around the greens is really good too, to where it looks like the ball's gonna go nowhere, and it goes exactly where you want it to go. So it's really just a feel, touch, and having the right technique. Ralph, they say, how about left-handed golfers? I think they're cheaters. For some reason, I've never seen a bad left-handed swing.
Who said that?
Ralph, Bruce Leroy, 721. That guy doesn't know what's going on.
Man, Rocky's a cheater in general,
Yeah.
dude. That's why you don't play golf because you can't. Well, you can cheat at golf. He don't know how to cheat at golf, so he ain't gonna go play. Um, Left-handed golfers, Ralphie, it's the same thing, bro. Um, it's all the same. It really is all the same. I mean, but you know what? The crazy thing is that I know a lot of left-handed dudes that play right-handed. Um, I think my brother's one of them. My brother's left-handed. He plays.
Really? Has he ever tried to hit left-handed?
I think he did. No, I don't know it. No, I don't think he's ever tried. But you know who's a lefty that plays right?
Really?
Roy Lee. Oh yes, Roy Lee's a lefty. He plays right. hmm
That's insane, dude.
But I think he can hit left also. I think he can hit both. He just
I wonder how that. I wonder why that is. But I mean, most people, even Roy Lee, I mean, he has a really smooth swing. But I mean, you watch some of these left-handed golfers, and I feel like it's like almost instant for them that their swing's gonna be good.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any facts or data to speak on the differences between left-handed and right-handed players, but I know Roy Lee can do both, and that's yeah, yeah. I've seen him hit lefty if I'm not mistaken, but I know he plays.
So, do you have any suggestions for someone that's brand new? Like, what should they go do first things first?
Dude, first things first, like if you're brand new and you're serious about the game, don't go buy a big old expensive set. That's step one. Don't go. They have starter sets that come with like a putter. Or whatever. They have adults. Like, start with that. Figure out if it's something you're even going to want to do. But really, just have the if you're just doing it to play casually, just with your buddies, go to the range. Because the thing about going to the range, go to the range. If you go to the range, you can go to the range for free.
Yeah.
If you go putt and chip, you don't have to buy a bucket of balls. All you have to do is invest your time. And if I were somebody, I would go in reverse. I would recommend, if you're brand new, go start putting. Go learn that. That's the easiest thing to learn. You're not going to learn how to read greens or anything, but the easiest thing to learn is just roll the dang ball. And everybody knows how to play putt putt. You see more people going out playing putt. My mother can go play putt. Anybody can go play putt.
Your mama's a
People
saint.
It's more user friendly, right? See, even my computer thinks so.
Yeah.
And but what I'm saying is start there. Go get your putter and your wedge, and better yet, go to like Golf Galaxy in San Antonio, other place that sell used clubs. Go get a wedge. You're going to spend less than $50. Just go get one, and go out there and maybe find an iron or something and just go. You can get a ton of golf clubs there. Pawn shops got a ton of golf clubs there too. And go get you something, everything 150 yards in. Go get you a 7-iron, go get you a wedge, and go get you a putter. Those are all the 3 clubs you need. And go to the range, start putting. Spend some time doing that. After you putt, learn how to chip. And just chip. And once you can watch some YouTube videos to find some cool little drills or cool little things you can do, just go do that. And then when you're ready and you feel good about it yourself, go get you a little bucket. It might have 20 balls in it, 25 balls in it, and go hit that 7-iron.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You don't need to do anything else for now. And then when you're ready to go play with your buddies, you have your starter set, and go get better. Even go get a driver. You can go get a driver on a 3-wood pawn shop for a Golf Galaxy and not have to break the bank, because if you go look at brand new club sets, you're gonna break the bank. There you are. Now I can see your beautiful face.
Let's see how long it lasts, buddy.
But that's all you have to do. You don't have to go and do anything crazy.
Yeah. I think it's hard not to want to go straight to the driver, right? Because it's the main club, right, that everybody knows, everybody uses. But I mean, it's a lot more fun, man, when you realize what you're doing. You know what I mean? And when you're hitting good scores and you're enjoying yourself, it's gonna be a lot more fun than wanting to slam your clubs down all the goddamn time.
Yeah. No, I will tell you, it'll be very frustrating for a lot of new golfers. You'll lose faith in the game 9 times out of 10. Just start with the short game. Start with putting, then go to tipping, then go to a 7-iron. And you know what? If you only got 1 or 2 balls left, then knock 1 or 2 balls with your driver. After a little while, but gain some confidence first. And you know what? And if you'll start to beat your friends who've been playing for years. You'll start to beat them if you're better around the greens. Because that is the very last thing that people become good at, is to be good around the greens. And trust me, I learned the hard way. I was all about just controlling my shot. All I wanted to do was hit the ball straight. All I wanted to do was just pound driver. That's all I wanted. And if I had just figured this out years ago, I'd be a totally different golfer than I am today. Yeah, 100%. But,
And don't go out and buy. I mean, this is probably not what companies want you to know, but don't go and buy the most expensive equipment. Don't go and buy any of that. Dude, don't even go buy expensive golf balls. You know what I mean? Go to Walmart, get yourself some nitros. Go to a pawn shop and get yourself some freaking pawn shop freaking whatever, right? Go buy reused golf balls. Go buy whatever. You don't need the brand new equipment, because you're not going to see a difference between that and the regular one, right? Until you get better.
I agree. Even now, I've been playing for whatever the number of years, and I can change between golf balls, and I'm not good enough. And I'm a consistent high 70s player. I'm a consistent high 70s player, unless you go stick me at a crazy course. Yeah, on an average course, I'm a high 70s player, and if I go get a Titleist, Pro V1X, or play with a Vice, you're not going to see a difference in my game. I'm not going to lose strokes because I changed golf. I'm not that good. You know what I mean? I'm not that good. I've one time I bought Pro V1Xs, and they felt awesome, but I didn't go save 5 or 6 strokes because I bought awesome golf balls. That just isn't. You've got to be, a scratch player, where you use a specific ball, a specific grit, and all those. And that all that comes later when you get more serious in the game. When you want to start playing competitively and you're really good, and when you get to be as good as somebody where a golf ball will shave a stroke or two off your game, then yeah, then pick a ball. For now, go get you a shag bag. Just get a shag bag and just go hit. You're gonna lose them anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose.
I can't tell you how many balls I lose now, and I've been playing for forever.
You know what? If we were to tally up how much money you've spent on golf balls since you started in 2.5 years, what would you think that would be?
I would hate to do that because then I would have to tell my wife how much of that I used, I swear it's not that bad, but no, it would be that bad.
You know how long it's been since I've spent money on golf balls?
How long?
I don't think I've bought golf balls in a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah. I ended up. I remember somebody was selling at work. Had a buddy of mine at work when I was at AT&T, and he was getting rid of some golf balls, and it was just a bunch of shag balls. And it was a box of like 300 golf balls. I bought them for $20.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I still have them. I still have half a bag. So every time I go play golf, I go grab about 6 or 7 of them, throw them in my bag. And they're all like, TaylorMade's, Callaway's, just a bunch of balls that they just use for practice. Yeah, come on. And I still have them until this day. Because I know I'm going to lose them. I'm not that good,
Yeah.
But the crazy part is I've been playing for 20 plus years and I shoot in the high 70s. I'm still going to lose golf balls, So, before golf, because golf can become a very quick, very fast money pit. 100%. It's an expensive game to play. But what I would highly suggest is, you're just starting out. Go do the boring stuff, but get really good at the boring stuff, and I promise you'll have so much more fun with it. Promise you. And I'm not saying don't ever hit your driver. I'm not saying don't ever. Yeah, go swing those things, but don't make it to what you spend majority of the time. Because with golf, what happens is you don't hit it well, and then what do? You want to hit another one, and then you want to hit another one. You want to hit another one. You want to keep figuring it out. And all you're doing, dude, is you're just creating bad habits.
Yeah.
Every time you take those swings, you're instilling those bad habits, and they're never going to change. It's just not going to happen. And that's what causes a lot of frustration in new players.
And then you end up wanting to give up. Yeah.
That's why they don't come back. Right? That's why they don't come back. I don't know how else to put it. That's why they don't come back.
And you want them to come back.
Come play. Come have some fun. Golf is meant to be fun. Well, don't say that because I still get really frustrated myself when I go play. But that's a different story for another day.
It just means you care about it at the end of the day, I think.
I'm just very passionate.
Yeah. You're a very passionate man.
Just a passionate guy. You'd be frustrated too if you were playing for 26 years and he's 27 years.
I haven't been playing as much as you, and I still get frustrated.
Yeah. Well, maybe you're focusing on the wrong thing.
Maybe you need to stop yelling at me and let me live my life.
Well, you can do whatever you want, but you are getting better, And you want to know what's been getting better about you? That I've noticed on all your videos.
What's that?
Your putting.
Well, I finally had to figure out how to do it.
Well, you're getting better. Look at your lag putt. When you lag putt, you put the ball close. You're 2-putting more.
Yeah.
You used to be a notorious 3-putter. Every video is 3-putt, 4-putt, 5-putt. Now you're 2-putting most of the time. Think about that. Think about that for a moment. And if somebody wants to say, Jose, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, that's fine. I might be a little bit of an idiot, but I'm not dumb, right? I don't know math, but I'm not dumb. Here's what I'll tell you. If you were on average 3-putting every hole, that's 18 holes times 3, Don't ask me to do that math. But think about it. If you go from averaging a 3-putt down to a 2-putt, you've already shaved off 18 strokes.
Yeah, and it's something to be proud of.
You've already shaved off 18 strokes. You went from being a 118, stroke player, which is what most new people start out at, right about the 120 range. You go from 120 down to 100, close to 100, just by getting one stroke better per hole at putting. But also, you want to know what else has gotten better? You want to know why you're breaking into the 90s? Why you broke into the 80s?
Why is that?
Because your mom and drives. Look at your chips. Go back and watch your videos. That's why I was poking fun at you. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a bad golfer." Yeah, but you're getting better.
Dude, the chips were bad. I will agree with you. I was like, I would chip over the green one way, chip over the back the other way, and then like you were like table tennising back and forth, and then eventually you'd end up on the green, and then do 3-putt from there. So you're already at like stroke 6 or 7, and that's not even including your tee shots.
But think about that. So let's talk about that. Let's just say you get one stroke better. You say one stroke on the green, right? Because you've gotten better at putting. You're not looking to go be a miraculous putter. You just want to save one stroke.
Yeah.
And even if you save one stroke on half the green, that's still a 9-stroke difference. That's taking you from 100 to a 91. That's taking you from a 91 to an 82.
It's a big gap. Even if you just one chip and it lands nowhere near the hole, but it's on the green.
That was my next statement. Was think about chipping, the duck chips. Think about chipping over the green, leaving it short, and then you go 3-putt. That's where a lot of new players, you rack up the strokes there because it's never practiced.
Yeah.
Because there's no time given. And if you go back and watch your videos, go back and watch 3 of your videos and watch your chipping. Go watch 2 or 3 videos from when you first started to go watching 2 or 3 of your most recent videos and watch your chipping, and look at the major difference, because you're putting the ball within 5 feet, in some cases 10 feet, and you're tee putting. So you're saving a stroke on the green, and you're saving another stroke chipping. So if you're a 120 stroke player, and you save 18 strokes on the green just by averaging a 2-putt, because if you chip it close, sometimes you're only going to putt once. But if you go save 18 strokes on the green just by going from a 3-putter down to a 2-putter, and then you go improve chipping, maybe you just save 9 strokes on chipping, which means only half the time you don't chip it over the green. That's 27 strokes.
That's something to be proud of.
Dude, that's taking you from 120 stroke player to a 93. And now you're competing with most people out there.
Yeah.
And just by focusing on 2 things, chipping and putting. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. It's really not hard. It's not rocket science.
It's super easy. Everyone can do it.
But golf, because of how complex it is.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are struggling, go back to the greens. Go to the green. Chip and putt. Just get really good at it and watch yourself magically. You're going to start having better days. And then when you gain confidence around the greens and you're feeling good, if you feel good, you're going to swing good.
Yeah.
So naturally, you'll start hitting better drives. Naturally, you'll start hitting better iron shots because you feel good. Right?
And whatever works for you, works for you. So like some people say, well, this chip I use my 60 or my 54 or my pitching wedge or whatever. Dude, whatever. You could chip with a 7-iron. If you think that's what gives you the best shot of getting up there in one, chip with whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you're comfortable with it. But I think we get lost too much in being like, well, they're hitting a 54 or 56 or a 60. I need to do that too. Those premier wedges, I have a 54 that you gave me, and since then that's the only thing I use. Doesn't matter what like yardage I'm at, that's the only thing I use, right? And you have some people that can do crazy things with all these different types of degrees, but I'm comfortable that I can get that 54 up and down in one shot without sculling it, right? Those premier wedges sometimes have that thinner edge, So you have to have at least a little bit of skill to do it. So if you start with a pitching wedge, if you have a cavity back, that's going to be a lot simpler to get that ball up in the air and get it on. And you should start there.
Yeah, don't get in the weeds with all the different types of clubs, and just keep it simple. When you're starting out, when you want to really get old, and this would be my next thing, and I don't know, and this is jumping far ahead, but once you're invested, once you've gotten really good, and you're a '90s player, and you've hit a plateau, but you've really been putting in a lot of time, and now you've been playing for about 5 years. I would recommend waiting about 5 years. Go get fitted for your first set of clubs. That, you know what, man, for as long as I've been playing golf, whatever 20 something years is, um, 27 years. I've been playing for 27 years. And I just recently got fitted a year ago, you know? So I went 26 years without getting fitted, just playing with whatever clubs and however they came, And I never believed in getting fitted because in my mind, I didn't think that getting fitted would make really any difference at all. Because once you master around the greens and you get your feel for your swing and you start to embody your swing and it now becomes yours and you're putting in time, you're putting in effort, never blowing in your game from a skill based perspective. There comes a point in time where the equipment you have in your hand more than likely is not the right size equipment. And because now, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, after 5 years, playing consistently. I'm not saying play for 5 years and just play once a year. That's not it. But I'm talking about playing consistently over the course of 4 or 5 years. You have already developed what your swing looks like and what your swing is, and now, once you do that, go get fitted for your first set of clubs. When you want to buy your first real set of clubs, your name brand clubs, if you want to go get some Titleist with TaylorMades or some Callaways, you want to go get some nice clubs. Strixon's making a play on clubs, and apparently those clubs are great. But go get fitted.
Yeah.
Go get fitted by an outfitter, whether it's Edwin Watts, Golf Galaxy, and there's a bunch of other third-party companies out there that will fit you. But go in person to get fitted for full bag. It's going to cost you some money, but they'll charge you for the fit. They will order your clubs custom made to your height, your swing type, your swing speed, everything. And I promise you want to really start having some fun, that's when it starts. Because now you can work on your swing. Because now you can work on your swing, and now you have enough experience in the game where you can go get some instruction with a local club pro. And local club pros, people may think golf instruction is expensive. You can get 3 sessions for less than a couple $100.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. And go get that. Get some very basic things like your grip, your stance, your weight distribution, ball placement. Once you do all those things, man, you're really going to now start to get into granular aspects of your specific swing. And once you do that, that's when you really that's when you'll start shaving off throat. That's what was different for me. I might have shaved off. I mean, I was a consistent low 80s, sometimes high 70s player, but ever since I've got fitted in the last year, I have been more consistently in the mid to high 70s, but I consistently shaved 5 strokes off my game just because now I know that when I pick up those clubs, those are my clubs. And they're fitted to me, my swing speed, my swing type, everything. Right? And I wouldn't recommend doing that as you start. I would recommend get your feet under you and play consistently.
When you have a swing that you can duplicate often. Not every time. Every time it is a fallacy. That doesn't exist. Every single time doesn't really exist. But something that 9 out of 10 swings you're gonna do 6 to 7 times that you know it's gonna happen. I think that's when you go get fitted. And I think we could speak real quick to Andy, right? So our cousin Andy, he had what we call the concha putter for forever, man. This thing was the ugliest putter you can imagine. And then he went and he got professionally fit for a putter that he was going to purchase, and it unlocked a whole different level of putting, I think, for him.
I agree. That's a great example, and it's one thing to explain it; it's another thing to see it. But yeah, we had a this buddy of ours, he's a beginner at golf. Very, very, very. He's a beginner, and yeah, he plays around in the 120 range. That's about what he shoots right now. He's got some time to get better. But yeah, and you know what? I take back everything I just said. If you want to go get fitted for anything because you just want to invest, go get fitted for a putter.
Yeah.
You can do it. 100% go get fitted for a putter. And he did that. And yeah, his putting, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10 was like went from a 2 to like a 7
Mm-hmm.
just by getting the right equipment. Uh, and he's only been playing for a couple of years, about as long as you've been playing. So, but even for the both of you, even for you, I wouldn't recommend you getting fitted for a full bag. Maybe until, I mean, get a true fit.
Yeah.
Maybe another year or two. Once you start getting into the 80s and you start playing there, because that'll really help you take it to the next
But
level.
Andy had like this certain putt stroke where it wasn't going straight and back. He was kind of like a moon, kind of like arcing around his body. Yeah.
You would just punch it, yeah.
And when you would help him and he was still using the old concha, you would tell him like, hey, aim out to a certain area, and it would, when you would tell him that putt would go straight, right? Because you were correcting his miss for him. Well, now you don't even have to correct that, and that sucker's going straight every time. And that just shows like someone that has that eye for it that can really help you out and can really, again, shave off strokes as you know, once in a while is what you want to do.
Yeah, for Andy, it was. I used to tell him, "Left is your friend."
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm not. But again, it was the putter. It was the type of putter he was using.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever he would go to hit the ball, the putter's face would be open at impact. So he'd be at address here, and then at impact would be here. And the next thing you know, the ball just shoot out to the right. And for Andy, it was just because he's a beginner. You don't want to start changing all his stuff, and
Yeah.
then you frustrate him, and that's just not the play. So yeah, we had to play his miss. Say, dude, left is your friend. I want you to aim like, I'm not kidding. Used to have that dude, like, if it was a 10-foot putt, I'd have him aim 2 feet left of the hole on a straight putt. And he'd be like, you really want me to just hit over here? Just hit the ball right here. And it would go straight. And it was just the thing. It was like, left is your friend.
Yeah.
And that was just us playing the miss, right? But it made the game more enjoyable for him. So if you're playing with beginners, you guys, and it's somebody that has a big old slice, don't start breaking their swing down in the middle of the round and start telling them do this and do that. Tell them aim left, and you'll
Yeah.
be the best friend that day, I promise you.
It'll turn eventually. Yeah.
Dude, even you, I've told you, there'd be times that you push the ball to the right and you're getting frustrated. I go, dude, just aim for that tree over there. And you'd like, dude, just aim over there. And it'd be in the fairway. And it's okay to do that sometimes.
Now the important
It doesn't matter.
the important thing of being the guy that's slicing the ball, if they tell you to aim way left, don't change anything. Do exactly what you were doing before, because then you'll try to overcompensate or do something crazy, and then it goes a different way. Whatever you were doing before, do the exact same thing again, and you'll end up in the middle. It's when you start tinkering with things that it gets difficult. It doesn't matter how bad it looks. If it's going right, aim a little to the left, do the same thing, and you'll be fine.
I agree. Yeah, then you get those guys. Well, and it's always the, you know what, that are those guys, no, I don't want to aim left. And then they do it, and then they hit it straight, and just so they can prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't have aimed left. I'm like, you know what? Just aim wherever you want.
Yeah.
And then the next shot. That's, but, I think that's the other thing with beginners. When playing with beginners, don't try to have them, even if they ask you, just come to aim. Just keep it to the practice. Keep it to the basics. Right? Encourage them. I think I did it with you a lot when you started playing. Was you hit the ball straight, but it'd be low and it'd be just in the ground, and you'd get a little frustrated, like, oh, what am I doing? And it's like, dude, it doesn't matter. You hit the ball straight. It may not have looked the way you wanted it to look, but it went to where you wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters here. Is, are you getting forward progression, and can you put yourself in that? Your only goal is get yourself within 150, where you should be practicing, where you should be the best part of your game, and just get there. You don't need to make it look pretty. It doesn't need to look the best. Just get in that range and go have some fun. Right? That's the most important.
And I will tell you, right? So it's one thing to say to, hey, I see it on PGA Tour. I see these guys do these crazy shots and stuff, but we're not putting the time that they are in to that craft, right? You're a weekend warrior. You're a once a month player. I mean, you're not practicing in between rounds. The only time you're hitting the balls when you're going out there and playing. These guys are practicing all year for those tournaments. And I mean, even Bryson was talking about on one of his videos where he was like, I'm kind of ramping up right before the season, so it's peak time during that season. So not only are we seeing like the best players in the world doing the best things, we're seeing those best players at their peak during that time. You know what I mean? And even then you see them kind of shank a couple of balls every once in a while. It's bound to happen, right? They're normal. But we're not putting the time in and the practice that they are. You know, go out there, you know, have a few beers, pump some Tejano, have a good time. That's all what it's about.
Yeah, don't compare yourself. Don't ever try to do anything the pros are doing. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that, but don't try to do that. You're only gonna make yourself more frustrated in the process. Just go play. Just go play golf the way it was meant to be played. None of us here are competitive enough to go out and make any kind of money doing this, unless you're a skins player and you're really good. I know a lot of scratch players or skins players, and yeah, you can go play skins, make some money, and it's betting basically. What skins is you know bet on the hole that you're playing, right? And it's you versus the hole or you versus those around you, however you want to do. But yeah, you can go play skins and make some money, but you're not gonna make a living off of it, right? And, you know, just go up and play.
Yeah.
That's all that it is.
All right, man.
Mhm.
Well, I think this was a great first one. We will figure out these little odds and end issues that we had, but for the first one, it was a great conversation. Thank you for coming on. I'm glad you had to see your bourbon in your hand and had a couple of drinks.
Oh yeah. Yep. So, no, man, this is great. I think it's good. Hopefully, this reaches some people, and hopefully, it resonates with some of those out there that just starting. I assume you're not. I mean, I've watched your videos, but I haven't really been along with you on this ride. But I assume a lot of your viewers and a lot of your target audience are people that are starting out just like you. So I hope that our discussion today really resonated with some people out there and puts people back out on the range and put people back out practicing and people back out on the courses getting excited, especially as the weather's starting to warm up, going into spring. You know, that people really just get out and just do more putting, do more chipping, spend more time inside 150 yards, and we'll start to see more people at the course. You'll start to see more people having more fun, and then hopefully we can turn the title of your channel or your content from bad golfer to a mid golfer, and then eventually an expert golfer, right? So let's get you there.
We can stay with bad. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be there. Someone needs to represent the little guy, and that's why I'm here.
Well, there's no little guys in golf. Everybody's out there doing their own awesome stuff. So golf's a great game.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Well, appreciate y'all. Have a good one. See you in the next one.